Hello, my name is Elena Hicks, and today we are covering factoring. I know factoring scares many of you, but I'm telling you, factoring can be really fun. So I'm going to teach you how to play with those factoral problems, okay? So let's review a little bit. Let's suppose you have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Let's make this little x here, and I want you to place the factor of the first coefficient, which in this case is 1. You know, if you don't have any coefficient, it's 1 always. So factors of 1 are 1, and factors of 6 will be 3 and 2, right? That will be first step, placing the factors of each one of those coefficients. Number 1, the leading coefficient, and the last term. Now, multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3. And 1 times 2 is 2. Which kind of sign should I have for each one of them to get positive 5? Positive, right? Good. So this is positive and this is positive. And now how do I write my factorization? You have 1x, remember these are the factors of x, 1x plus 3 and 1x plus 2. So the answer is x plus 3 times x plus 2. Nice? Good, let's take another example. Let's suppose you have x squared minus 5x plus 6. We're going to do the same thing. We draw an x. We'll put 1 and 1, 3 and 2. We'll multiply 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's look at the sign. Which kind of sign do I have to have for 3 and for 2 to get negative 5? Negative 3, negative 2. Correct? So my answer is going to be 1x minus 3 and 1x minus 2. Now, let me tell you something. How can you verify yourself beside this method? Now, this term represents the multiplication of the two factors you are looking for. So in order to get a positive, they have to have the same sign. So either they will be positive or negative, they will be the same sign. And number positive 5 here in the middle will give you the sum of the factors. So what kind of sign you have to have for those factors to get a positive sum? Since they have the same sign and the sum is positive, it's logical they will be positive. In this case, I'm reading, they have the same sign. Actually, I read this, both negative, both positive, because only two negative numbers will add up to a negative sum and will multiply together to a positive product. So let's take two more examples. Let's suppose you have x squared plus x minus 6 and x squared minus 6 minus 6. Again, factors 1, 1 and 3, 2, 1, 1 and 3, 2. The typical mistakes that students make in exams are the signs. They are not very sure how to choose a sign, and that's why I want to insist in understanding why we choose the factors that we choose, and not only the factors, but mainly the signs. So we multiply 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's see. Are they going to have the same sign or not? No, because only by multiplying two different signs will get a negative product. So here I could say, every time you see negative for the last term, you will say opposite signs. Opposite signs. Good. Now let's see which one has a plus and which one has a minus. What sign should 3 have that added to 2, which has a sign as well, will give you positive 1. So the only way is if this is positive and this is negative. Positive 3, negative 2, it's a positive 1. So that's a plus and that's a minus. So my final answer is 1x plus 3 and 1x minus 2. And following the same concept, we multiply those two numbers, that's a 3, and those two numbers, that's a 2. So which one of them will be negative? The larger, because I need my sum to be negative. Only negative 3 plus 2 will give you a negative 1 as a sum. Does it make sense? So I put here negative and this is positive. And my answer is x minus 3 and times x plus 2. So remember, when the last term is negative, the factors will be different signs. The larger is positive. Different signs, larger, negative. Sometimes, when you have experience, you don't have to do the x. It's just, simple. Good. Now let's go further to something a little bit more complex. For instance, 8x squared plus 22x plus 15. Remember, here I have to write 2 factors for the first coefficient, and here I have to write 2 factors for 15. Factors for 8 could be 1 and 8, or 2 and 4. Factor for 15 can be 1 and 15, and what? 3 and 5. How do you choose them? Trial and error. You just try one and see if it's too far up or too far down, and then try another combination. Me personally, I always try to go in the middle. It really depends very much if they have the same sign. If this sum is big or small, you'll see once you do more, you see exactly where you should, what should you try first. But let's suppose we choose 1 and 8 and 3 and 5. Remember, try and error. So we multiply 3 and 8, and that's a 24. And 1 and 5, that's a 5. Remember, they have both same sign, right? Both same sign. So both of them are positive, and there will be a 29. Is that what you have here? No. So you see, trial and error, then those factors didn't work, so we choose different factors. Remember to cross out what we already chose. So we choose 1 and 8 with 3 and 5. This doesn't mean I cannot choose 1 and 8 with 1 and 15, but if you look 15 and 8, really will give you a big sum. So let's go in the middle and try 2 and 4 and 3 and 5. 3 times 4, 12, and 2 times 5, 10. Both positive, so I have 22. Is that what you have? Yes. So it's fun, right? It's just one more step. You put the x here, remember to put the signs, and your answer is going to be 2x plus 3 times 4x plus 5. And if you want, you can go ahead and multiply it, using FOIL. 2x times 4x, 8x squared. 3 times 5 is 15. 2x times 4x, 2x times 5, that's 10x. 3 times 4, 12x, added together, it will be 22. Actually, you don't even need to fold because you already did that right here. But for your security, you can fold again if you want. Okay, let's take another example. Let's suppose you have 8x squared plus 2x minus 15. From the factorization before, we know that those signs, those factors will be opposites. One of them will be negative, one of them will be positive. We have the feeling, the knowledge that the larger has to be positive, right? But let's see how we can use it in this case. So again, we put the factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Let's choose 1 and 8 if you want. And here we have 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. And let's choose 1 and 15. Multiplying 1 and 8 is 8. 1 and 15 is 15. The larger has to be positive, so those should be like this. And that's a positive 7. But that's not what I have in the middle. So this combination is not working for me. Remember to circle what you already tried. We tried those two. And let's change our option. What would you like to try? Let's try 2, 4, and 3, 5. Let's see if it works, okay? 2, 4, and 3, 5. 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 5 is 10. The larger combination has to be positive. So this is positive, this one has to be negative, because remember, when you multiply two negatives, you will get a negative. If we combine those numbers, we will have a positive 2, which should be the middle term. The middle term coefficient. So is that what you have? Yes. Positive 12, it was here, negative was here. So how do I write the answer? You just place an x here, an x here, and copy what you have. 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 5. And exactly how we suppose from the beginning, they have different signs, and the larger, it was positive. So factorization can be really fun. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you learned. And next class we continue with more examples. Have a great day.